Okay, so today we're gonna go over a Arcane that it's kind of getting overshadowed a little bit by the all the update and the TennoCon stuff, but I think I've been slowly appreciating more and more, which is primary compression. Now, the way primary compression works is if you have any kind of explosive on a primary weapon, it will reduce the actual radius and give it the damage, multiplicative damage. Now, that seems antithetical to the current meta, which is just big boom, explode everything. So why am I starting to like it? I'm starting to like it because it's slowly bringing back older, like non-used or less used weapons, like the Opticor Vandal. The Opticor Vandal has a 6.6 meter range on the radial charge, which does pity back, even though it's not considered the actual charge shot, it's the charge radial attack, it's 6 meters. The charge shot is still getting the multiplied damage, so it's piggybacking off the radius of the radial attack to the actual charge shot. So here's an example. These are Manic Bombards. They're level 175, Steel Path, very big HP, whatever. So you can see here, if I just shoot normally at the head, it does damage. If I'm actually aiming, then it does that much damage. And you can see in the top right, whenever you aim, you get plus 529%. I'm not even 100% sure how that's calculated, because it's 6.6 meters, so it's 5.29. Whatever. So again, just a quick example. Non-aiming, and then when you aim, it does more damage. Let's get some quick stacks real quick, just to show how good it is when you actually have a multi-shot. So, just a quick example again. By the way, this beam is huge. You have to aim like above their head. Yeah, there you go. That's a headshot, and then like that. Not 100% sure if it actually carries on to the status effects, but there's a shot, and then here. Yeah, okay. It's slightly better. Also on the Opticor Vandal, the radius isn't actually reduced when you aim, so you can see this guy here is at 9 meters. If I shoot right here, you see, okay, he gets hit, he doesn't. They're both getting hit. Now if I aim, even though you can see 1.7k, if I don't aim, hold on, 3.3k, 5.9k, 2.9k, and then if I aim, then it's 6.9k, 13k, 5.6k. So yeah, it does actually increase the radial attack. It doesn't reduce it at all. It's probably a bug. Some weapons are probably just coded weird. So the explosion counts as the actual primary fire, not the explosion. There you go. That's one weapon that actually gets boosted by this. Other one is actually the Torid. The Torid cloud is... Where is the Torid cloud? Okay, it doesn't say here. The Scene Incarnate form. So the Torid cloud, you can see if I aim, 345, because it has like 4 meters of radius or something. And you would think it actually doesn't get affected, but it does. So you can see if I aim here, that's going to do 1.5k, 1.4k. And then if I aim, you get the extra bonus. So 2.8k, 13k, 2k. So it does actually impact the radius. I can give another example real quick. So right here, no aiming, 1.4k, 2.4k. It's going to fake all that, but it doesn't matter. 1.3k, 2.4k. And then if I aim, 5.4k, 5.4k, 5.4k. So yeah, it is affected by the actual Arcane. It's not affected by Incarnate. Incarnate doesn't matter. But it's just an example of like, even though this is fine, the fact that it's multiplicative makes it so much more damage. Which is why, again, I am slowly appreciating this thing more and more. Even though it doesn't give you like a lot of AoE, because you know you want AoE in this game, the fact that it's concentrating all that into just raw multiplicative damage with some specific interactions is actually like really nice. So let me get my full stacks and just give you a quick example of a headshot. Okay. You're not dead. Okay, so let me just one headshot. You can see it did that much. And then if I come here and I get a headshot, it does that much. So yeah, it is very, very powerful. Also, this is multiplicative CO, so if I do with Zadas and I don't aim, it does that. And then if I aim and I get a, like, let me get like multi-shot real quick. Okay, so can you bubble? Yeah, here we go. So one shot, and then the second shot is what's gonna do the damage. There you go. And now if I come here and I do the same thing, and then if I do again, yeah, it's just a lot of damage. Although you don't really use the cloud that much. Also, this is the Excalibur build, so I'm just using this just to get Zadas. It's 2% bonus, doesn't really matter. Next one. This is just a few examples that I found, by the way, but I'm sure there's other examples. So this is the Ambassador. The Alt Fire does have an AoE of 600 meters. You can see here if I don't aim, you get kind of bad damage. 1k. Okay. And I'm not saying you're gonna get amazing damage, but it's, you know, it's way better. Again, these are very tanky enemies. Let me just get multi-shot real quick. I think I have multi-shot on this. Not 100% sure. It's still the Ambassador though. But again, this is no buffing, no nothing. Just a little bit fire rate. And I'm not 100% sure if this is multiplicative. I'm not gonna have it on anyways, so don't think it is. Okay, 4 stacks is good enough. So again, this is just an example. No aiming. It does that much, and then if you aim, it does that much. You know, it's still the Ambassador, so... Oh, I'm gonna leave this one for last, actually. Let's go to the Basmu. Same thing with the Basmu. This fire mode, the held fire mode, actually has an AoE. It's 2.4 meters. So if you aim, you get 195% multiplicative damage. So, wait, I'm not sure if I have the right bane on this. I am not paying attention. Apologies. There we go. I do have the right bane. But real quick, this does have multiplicative CO, which I will use. So you can see if I just aim, that's the damage that we're expecting when I'm not aiming. And then if I do aim, it doesn't look that great because I don't have stacks, but there you go, see? It's a lot more damage. I'm just gonna get stacks real quick, just by aiming. Okay. So, again, I'm just gonna give a quick example. Not aiming. It's about that much. And then if I aim, and I don't miss half my bullets because this thing has horrible accuracy. Okay. Now, would this be better than Deadhead? I don't know. We're at a point where we have so many diminishing returns that I'm not really sure if this is worth using over just like Deadhead or something. This thing does have multiplicative CO, so I'm just gonna real quick. I gotta get new targets. The Basmu reload mechanic is really annoying for testing, but it's fine. So again, this guy not aiming that much. One quick example again. This guy not aiming. There we go. Better example. Then I'm gonna go over here. Then I'm gonna aim. You can see the difference when you have Zadas and its multiplicative bonus on multiplicative bonus. Next one is this is an interesting one, the Alternox. The Alternox Altfire has 8 meters of AoE, and it's not affected by multi-shot, which is why I don't have multi-shot, but it is affected by melee compression, and it's not affected by the radius reduction at all. So you can see here, if I don't aim and I go into this corner and I aim right there, I shoot the ball, you can see it does triple digit numbers, 129, 128, 133, and then if I come here and I do the exact same thing and I aim, then it gets the multiplicative bonus for like a split second, and then you're gonna get quadruple numbers like 1.2k, 1.2k, 1.1k, and you know, this isn't anything like amazing because it's still the Alternox Altfire. However, this is I was just about to get to Saren. I will get to Saren after this, okay? Because I want to buff this afterwards. But now we're gonna go to the most interesting case, which is the Prisma Lens. Now the Prisma Lens has a very high radius, which is 10 meters. So you can get some funny numbers off this. If you didn't know, Zadas will actually re-add a bow shot for some reason. I think a lot of bows have this interaction with Zadas where they will proc Zadas twice for some reason instead of just one time. So you can see if I don't aim, it does that much damage. Very bad damage. But then if I do aim, it does a little bit more damage, as you can see. Nothing crazy. Just a quick example again. Okay, but now if you add Zadas, again I have 2% Zadas, but it's just to see the Zadas proc. You can see when I aim, you can see I get a 7.5k white number, that's the Zadas proc. It's at 5.6k Zadas. 13k Zadas. But if I aim, because it's multiplying the Zadas, 69k. So it goes from 7k to 69k. So there you go. Now imagine this with buffing, which is what I'll show in a second. Just another example real quick. You can see 69k on Zadas, 53k. And if you don't aim, 5.6k. Now, is the trade-off of losing the radius actually worth it? Personally, yeah, kinda. It's just a nice way of not having to deal with... first of all, you don't have to stack this Arcane. So for example, if I go to my Tomb Finger, which looks like this, with primary compression, you can see the point is you don't aim when you want to kill Father, and then when you want to kill something stronger, you aim. So this exact same thing, you can see, let's say these guys are like weak targets, then you just do this, and then they would be dead. But then when there's a stronger target, you aim, you don't have to do anything, you just aim, and then you do multiplied damage. So that's the whole point. The whole point is that, okay, I'm just like shooting, let's say if I had a Czar, I'm just doing this. Like usually I don't use Czars for real runs, but let's say, you know, I'm just shooting this just to kill Father, and then whenever a strong target comes along, then you aim, and you deal a lot of damage. If it wants to actually aim. There we go. That's the whole point. Again, this is no status buffing, this is no nothing. So now, let's do the exact same thing. And let's just go to Saren. So you can see, it's going to be the exact same build. I don't know if I remember to show this yet. Exact same build. Let's just do Zada just to make it simple. And we're going to do pretty much the same thing, except we're going to do buffing. So, not aiming. It's still Saren, but like that. And then if you aim, it should be just a one-shot. Yeah. You don't even get to see damage numbers. Like, not even status effects. Unfortunately, we're gotten to the point where enemies are too weak on the Simulacrum to actually test this. But you can see 1 million, 1.2 million. And again, the actual AoE portion of this isn't affected. So you can aim and still get the 6-meter AoE to other targets. As you can see. Now, it is still the Opticor, and the Opticor is a very old weapon. You know, it has a lot of flaws, like the charge up time, the actual projectile being a huge cone instead of just a straight bullet, clunky reload, you know, it's all that. So just again, just a quick example. I can't. I guess I can show the actual like AoE. You can see this is the AoE, goes like that. But then if I aim, it will be a lot stronger on the actual status effects because it's getting multiplied. Okay, that's the Opticor with buffs. It's actually pretty decent now, not gonna lie. Let's try the... what is this one? The Torid. Okay, I'm not gonna get to see damage numbers on this either. But just to show how this works. So, not aiming. Okay, we do get to see damage numbers. There you go. And then if I aim, we don't get to see damage numbers because the damage is multiplied. There you go. And the cloud isn't affected at all, so you get the benefits. You get all the benefits of getting the actual AoE explosion while still getting your damage multiplied. So you get, you know, stuff like this, where that's one bullet. And the actual if it gets stuck, the damage is multiplied on stuck targets. To toe shot. Okay. We got 3 more, just finishing off the buffs, or 4 more. Ambassador is probably the weakest one, but it's just an example of, again, if you need to kill a very strong target, then you aim. If you don't, then you're killing Father. You can see, there you go. One shot does that, and then if I aim, it kills, and because the explosion isn't affected, we're essentially using Saren as a conductor for the actual damage of the explosion. So you can see this guy gets hit. There you go. It gets multiplied, everyone gets damaged, and it's okay damage. And just a quick example of not aiming. You can see it does very weak damage compared to if you aim. Obviously it's still affected by radius, but there you go. Alright. Next, we're going to go to the next example. By the way, I'm not going to do any showcases because this is just me showing off like a concept that could work. I forgot what this was. This was the Lenz, right? Yes, this was the Lenz. Gotta match the colors. Same build, same everything. This I don't know if I have the correct Bane. I do. And again, we are not seeing damage numbers. We're gonna see like a stupid high Zada number. So, 1,000,000 Zada. Okay, and then if we aim, we're not gonna see damage numbers like at all. Yep, 1.4 million proc, 2.8 million proc, 1.4 million, 3.2 million. That's a Zada bubble, by the way. That's a Zada effect. 1.9 million. We don't even get to see Zada there. We don't get to see Zada there. 1.4 million, 3.2 million, 3.2 million. So you can see it's pretty much tripling 1.2 to 3.2. If it gets a crit, obviously, because it is affected by crit as well. There you go. The Lenz might actually be maybe one of the strongest bows now, just because of that. Next is the Basmu. Basmu does have multiplicative CO as well, so we might see damage numbers, status effect numbers. Let's see. So not aiming. I mean, it's still Saren, so you know. I'm just gonna shoot one time. I'm gonna shoot the body. There you go. That's that, and then if I aim. Very good. There you go, and if I don't aim, there you go. You see the difference. It is there. This is the build again. And then the last one is the Alternox, which has a lot of potential of being funny. Because, again, 6-meter bubble. So again, just going to do the quick example of not aiming. It's doing triple dump. Oh, there we go. It got to quadruple numbers. There you go. And then if I do aim, that's the funny. We're gonna get funny numbers. There we go. So you can see these guys are still like a third of the way there. This guy's already dead. Pretty cool, huh? And this does proc rage as well, by the way. So there you go. Just a quick video of showing some examples of when primary compression could actually be pretty good, even though it's probably not going to be very popular, just because, you know, you're reducing your AoE for damage, and you have to trade this off for something else. Like, I'm using Saren, I could use primary blight, I could use Deadhead if I wanted to aim again, I could use Krugs, I could use Merciless. I guess I can show the Tomb Finger as well. So again, you want to kill fodder, you just aim at the side. You don't have to aim at all, just do this. And let's say this guy's like a big guy, you just aim, and he's dead. Pretty simple. I think it does have potential to be a very good Arcane. Yeah, that's all I wanted to showcase today. I do think this Arcane does have value, and it will have a place in the meta eventually once we figure out what other weapons could really benefit from it. And I'm sure it'll have a place when we have, you know, more single target focused content that we don't currently have that much. But the reason why it's still good, even if it's not just single target combat, it's because it's optional. You don't have to aim. You can just toggle it on and off, which is why I think is actually like a really good mechanic. If I want the AoE explosion, I just don't aim, and then if I want the full damage, but not the explosion, I just do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. This is going to be just a quick video, and I can't wait to see like crazy things with this, because I'm sure they will happen eventually. And have a good day. Bye-bye.